This is the Team Objection podcast for April 26, 2018, episode 338. And already, for the benefit of the people who have video and are watching on our YouTube channel, as we talked about in the last show, look who is here. And now, for the people who are listening, listen to who is here.
Hello, everybody. I am David, and I don't know that a lot of people have seen me move, because I've heard my voice on YouTube, but never actually seen me on YouTube, I don't think. Well, our intro video. Never mind.
Dad bod.
Yeah, we got a couple of videos with you on there, but nothing really for the show proper. Like, the podcast itself doesn't really have anything with you on there. It's just a couple, like, side projects.
Yep. I think we had that one episode on my bachelor party where we kind of recorded video. I don't know if that video ever saw the light of day.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, okay.
It's our intro for a long time. I was told I'm very handsy in
That's not the one I'm talking about.
Oh.
Yeah, that was Nick's wedding. This was Dave's bachelor party where we recorded, like, a 15-minute episode in Vegas.
Oh. Did we never publish that?
I thought we posted the video of
I
it,
think
but
we posted the video,
I don't
Dave.
remember anymore. I thought we did, because I think Andy was sort of in the frame on it, too.
Kind of. So is Nick, our friend Nick, as well. So,
Yeah.
new listeners will definitely remember the 4 years ago that we did that. 5 years ago.
If you look at the annals of history, Dave, you will see that it was posted.
Can I help you on the... Never mind. Pronounce that word however you want.
Look at his hair, though. I mean, I was making fun of him, but, like, you're so in fashion right now.
I know. I've got, like, this new haircut that actually looks kind of young, even though I'm old now.
Yeah.
You know what? We need to talk about our beard game, too.
Mm-hmm.
Dave's beard game is pretty strong. I'm going only goatee.
That looks
Shaun
good.
actually
just haven't
kind of
shaved in
has some stubble,
a
but
couple days.
doesn't
that's
actually
all.
look that bad, I think.
Shaun, where's your beard game?
I am not a child pedophile. I'm not a molester. A child molester.
That would be if I just had a mustache only. See, like this.
Yeah, that's
For
not
the
good.
audio listeners, I'm covering my mouth, just the mustache.
Yeah.
While you're at it, why don't you shave the sides of your head and put that hair in a top knot, and then you'll really be a douche.
Mm.
No, it just doesn't work.
And only the person who's not here would find you attractive. Everybody else would think you were hideous.
That's true.
I am way too fat for Michelle.
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
but
that's-
by proxy, if you being over 110 pounds, you're way too fat for Michelle.
Bullseye.
you can't see your bones, so you're kind of out of the running there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what do you got for us, Dave? You come on to the show, and I'm assuming you have like a whole thing planned, and you're gonna regale us on every boring thing you've done for the last 3 months.
Yeah, unless you don't want me to.
Is that really? Yeah, I mean, sure, go for it. I'm excited.
That's why you're here.
So let's see. The last time I was on was episode 300, I think. Trying to remember if I was
God,
on in
that's
between
forever
there.
ago.
I thought we had you on one other one because you were in town and you
That
had
might
the
have
chance
been
to
it.
do grievances, but it would have been like 15, 20 episodes ago.
Yeah. Since
can
then, I
look.
got a brand new job, and I wouldn't say I'm rich, even though you guys made fun of me for being rich. I made like $50,000 a year less than I do now at that time when you said I was rich.
I don't know
So
why I asked this. This is
You brought this on yourself.
It's my fault. I take 100%.
no, I'm pretty happy. I got it's a good job. Actually, I think it's a job that could be like a good career. So I'm pretty happy about that. It feels like something that's long term.
Yeah, I think a job where you made 50,000 more of anything, Dave, is probably a potential career.
Well, I made $5 a year at the last job that I was talking about. So that's good, right?
Yeah, $50,000 and $5. That's a good salary.
It's a good percentage jump, isn't it?
I let him have the avenue to be both boring and humble brag.
Yeah, that's true.
So
So, Dave, your last episode was 312 and 313, the one we recorded right around Christmas time. One aired before the New Year, one aired after. So it has been a while.
Yeah. It's too bad I actually missed. I got to miss your guys talk about The Last Jedi because I actually did see that in town with you guys. Now that's old news.
Yeah.
give me a 10-word review. Starting now.
Oh.
Good for millennials and young people.
What
bad
does that
for
mean,
old
good
people.
for millennials? I really liked how the main character was entitled.
No, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I actually really liked it. I heard there's a big split, and the way Kylo Ren talks about how you have to kill the past, or get rid of the past, kill it if you have to. There's this whole thing of that's kind of the millennial new generation way of thinking of like, we don't have to respect all traditions. We can forge our own way of going.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
a lot of older generations are more of like, no, you have to stick to tradition. That's how it should be. That type of thing.
It does also feel like the majority of the backlash against that film, which obviously was very splitting among the community of fans, I think older fans disliked it more than newer ones, is my feeling. I don't have any numbers on that, but I feel like people who were more concerned about the tradition of the Skywalkers and the stories that they were telling didn't love the portrayal of Luke, and
Well,
more millennials were okay with it.
there's going to be the idea of the guys who are Gen Xers, maybe a little older than that, grew up with Star Wars. Nothing is going to beat the original trilogy. They just can't at that point. Like, you could make a fantastic movie, but it's not going to match up to their memories of it. And so you can't win.
As long as the cast is all male, all white, and nothing different is done.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, that could have been Star Wars.
That could have been fine. Have you seen any other films in the last 3 months?
I have. I saw Ready Player
10
One.
10-word reviews.
10-word reviews for every movie. Well, okay. Well,
10 words. Okay. For Ready Player One, nothing like the book.
No.
Willy Wonka meets the Matrix. Cool.
All right, good.
All right, that's not bad.
And as a person who doesn't hate it, automatically Shaun has to start liking you more because the other people in the cast do not share that opinion.
I don't know why it was hated by that. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to love it.
It's like the popular thing to hate it.
Yeah. I think it went a little overboard on the hate. I think it's fine. But again, some of it brought on itself, too, the way it was marketed and the way that Spielberg talked about it.
Yeah, it's true. It was weird for me because I did kind of go in expecting it to be a movie just like the book, like a recreation of the book. And then all of a sudden there's a scene in the first 5 minutes of the movie. It's like, well, that wasn't in the book. That's weird.
Yeah.
And so it threw me off. I leaned over to my wife and said, okay, this is nothing like the book already. None of this happened.
I was doing that the whole time. Oh, I was like, this isn't in the book. This is in the book, actually. This part's on it. And she's like, I know, I read it. You don't have to do
Shut
that.
up. God.
So I found it funny. Both my wife and my sister did not read the book, and both of them really, really liked the movie. They said it was a lot of fun. It was just a fun, good movie. And it was surprising, especially because my wife does not have any 80s nostalgia or like video game type of nostalgia, but she loved it. She thought it was great.
I mean, that's where I'm at.
That's always a byproduct, too, right? Like, anytime you get a film adaptation of a book, there's always going to be at least a subset of fans that are like, well, this is not how I imagined it or how I read it in the book, and I don't like that because I like the book, so screw you.
I liked it better because it was so far. Like, if you're not going to follow the book, then just completely do your own thing.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
I can agree with that. And I felt the same way. It's like, I really like the book, and I think I like the book more, and that's just going to happen most times. But I liked the movie. I liked what they did with it, even though it definitely didn't have some of the depth I think the book had. But it was fun.
What else did you watch?
I want to say I saw something else. I think I saw something else, but I can't remember. So
okay, well, show's over.
Yeah, good to have Dave back. We'll see you in 4 months. Maybe you'll see another film.
Shut up. So I mean, I got to. I want to say I played South Park video games. I played the Fractured But Whole, which was a fun game. If anyone's ever played that.
Is this actually the show that we have planned? Is you're just gonna tell us the pop culture that you've consumed in the last 3 months?
You can tell me the pop culture you've consumed in the last 3 days.
That's all I've been doing the whole show. Every episode.
Well, on our planner, it does say Dave's back, so run with that.
Oh.
I figured Dave was going to come with his usual list of grievances from episodes that he'd listened to that we could, then give him rebuttals for and then shoot down said rebuttals. And I also figured that, there'd be a couple things he would have had that we could make fun of and or agree with.
So my problem as far as rebuttals and things is that I used to listen at work, and with the new job, I can't listen at work anymore. So it's really hard for me to kind of take notes because I'm generally listening while I'm driving. So yeah, that's not going to work as well anymore.
That's fair, but there has to be something that stuck out. We were driving, you were like set into a fit of rage or compassion or some other feelings that you have inside your supple body.
Supple, huh? Nice, thanks.
Supple is the word I would use.
So, just last week, Michelle, I didn't know almost anybody on her list of most attractive people. So there's that. I definitely had to go back and Google a few people that she mentioned.
Her list was not very mainstream, which is not shocking for her. It also was not as bad as I expected.
I think I knew everybody.
I think I had heard of a couple people that like very limitedly, but I had at least heard of everyone. But a couple were definitely fringe.
There were more on your list that I didn't recognize than Michelle's, I would say.
That's true. I had a couple of reaches on mine.
So there was a few that she mentioned that after I Googled it, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I know who she's talking about. I don't know why he's on a most attractive list, but I know who she's talking about.
And then Dave masturbated to her for the next 45 minutes.
Sure.
Yep, at work. Yep, you got it. I have to give really good props for Chris's choice of Lisa Foiles.
Foils, yeah.
Yeah, because I have seen her before, and I didn't recognize the name at the time, but solid choice.
Well, she's your type.
Very much so.
Do you know that's an unusual pick for me because of breast size? Let's just say.
I don't think Chris and I have the same taste in women.
Oh God, how does that make you feel, Chris?
Bad. But I also don't think it's necessarily true. Well, it's not untrue either. I don't think it's quite as much as you think, but there is definitely some overlap.
Yeah, there is some, but I mean, I think generally just have as far as what is most attractive, we have a different idea. But
yeah,
whatever.
Why don't you
no
prove it, Dave? Give us your top 3. And I want one guy in there.
In 10 words.
Son of a bitch.
10 words.
Okay, forget the 10 words. But yeah, top 3, either with a guy in it or top 3 and your top guy. One or the other. I don't care.
Okay, so I will go number 3. I think I'll go with Olivia Wilde.
Boo.
I just something about her eyes, I think, just captures me. Like I don't know what it is, but she just stares at you and you look good.
Shaun's number 1 was based heavily on her eyes. Not only. There's other things that are definitely attractive about her. And now he's not going to give Olivia Wilde any credit.
But my girl's eyes are better.
I don't even know that I would necessarily disagree. But Olivia Wilde's eyes are also stunning. They're both.
He agreed with your first one. I wanted some originality.
So you wanted to just boo him anyways. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, I
forgot the old format.
I don't even want him to agree with my choice. That's fine. You can say whatever.
Sure.
And then I'll go with a guy with number 2. I'm going to kind of go old school. Justin Timberlake is he's a good looking guy. He just looks fun too.
Yeah. It was a most attractive list. So the fact that he does all the comedy shows and whatnot, that's, I do like that about him.
Yeah. And it was one of those things like I remember when he was in NSYNC and it was like, here's this boy band with this bleached, tips, curly hair. And then he broke out of that boy band. If you look at the rest of anybody who was in Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, 98 Degrees, none of them made it. And he's the only one because he was charismatic, I think.
I mean, that's true. What about the guy from 98 Degrees? Jessica Simpson's husband.
Nick Lachey or whatever?
He was on a popular show called Newlyweds?
It was,
something?
I generally think that if you refer to someone as ex-husband, generally not a good thing for your career.
Well, unless you're...
Lance Bass was Sephiroth once, and then somebody else is the lead-in to Family Feud. One of those 3 bands' members just says like, hey, I'm blah, 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 and now here's the actual host, and that's his only role in the whole thing.
Dang. That's awesome.
He just calls out Steve Harvey. I don't remember who it is, but one of them, again, like this, we're not talking career moments here. I'm just saying like they exist still somewhere.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give an honorable mention because I actually forgot to do this at the beginning. Honorable mention to Daisy Ridley. I think she is just adorable, and she looks like she just has fun. She's like, oh my God, I'm in Star Wars. This is awesome.
Yeah, but she's like 13 years old, Dave.
She's older than that.
I was right on the pedo hair.
Yeah, take off the beard, keep the mustache. It's a given now.
I'm pretty sure she's at least in her 20s. At least.
She's like 25, I think, or something. But
yeah, that's acceptable.
I think she goes under the radar. I think she is like quite cute. I don't think people would be like, oh my God, she's a slamming hottie, but...
And I guess my number 1, if I had to go on looks alone, is probably Margot Robbie. I don't know. She just has this look to her that's looks like fun and crazy.
She's like classic beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't usually find like classic beauty, like it's not really my thing. But I mean, if you think of someone who captures like the epitome of like what beauty should be, it's like her.
Yeah, and also this is me making this up on the spot. So if I had time to research more, maybe
a bunch of bullshit, Dave. You know how much time we spent researching?
None.
At least 15 seconds.
Yeah, I was expecting to have spent more, and then everybody was like, "No, we should do it on the show." And I said, "Okay, here we go."
Okay, here it is.
I changed 3 of my 10 during that episode, by the way, because there were people I forgot, and I went, "Oh shit."
Yeah, I liked.
No.
I liked it though because I ended up going with choices I probably would not have gone otherwise, and I think it made it fun.
Yeah. No, I have no regrets about it whatsoever. And I think if I was making like a top 25, Margot Robbie would definitely be on it. She didn't make my top 10 or anything, but she's definitely someone I go, yeah, like she's beautiful, no doubt.
And I think the first time I saw her actually do anything was as God, I'm blanking on the name. Batman, Joker
Harley
girlfriend,
Quinn.
Harley Quinn. Yes, and I know that wasn't the traditional Harley Quinn, but she looked pretty good. So, what can I say?
Yeah, she looked good in that movie. And then there was Jared Leto.
He also
Who did-
looked very good, and his acting was great.
Anytime you make metaphors and you then put them on your skin so that people can read them, I think you've gone the whole way, and you've got a complete package then. That's perfect.
Well, at least there's no confusion over the metaphor at that point.
Yeah.
Right?
I actually think he's a great actor, and he was shit in that movie.
I heard a lot of people were shit in that movie. So,
But like, there's a lot of people that like it. Like,
Yeah.
they like it a lot, even though it's horrendous. Like, people who are normal don't like it. It's people who are like, oh my God, I want to go home and tattoo my whole face of Joker. Those are the people that liked it.
Well, and it's people who are desperate to have anything on the DC side to latch onto as this influx of MCU movies keeps coming out. You know, it's the one that was okay overall, got decent reviews. It wasn't panned like Batman versus Superman was. So they can kind of latch onto it. I know Wonder Woman, but some of those people aren't going to be about Wonder Woman.
If you go home and you shoot heroin between your fingers so people can't tell, you liked Suicide Squad.
does that go easier into your bloodstream or something? That sounds like it would hurt.
It's a thing. I have definitely heard it's a thing. And, it's less obvious marks going like up your, I don't know, side of finger or maybe through your fingernail. That's probably, I may be confusing that with a scene in Lost where they tortured a man.
Yeah, that's when you get like bamboo shoots in your fingernails. Yeah.
That might
Just
be.
go right up the fingernail, right there. It's
Sure.
perfect.
Yes. Might be onto something.
So
Dave, why
I
don't
did
you,
actually.
Dave, our in the field reporter, please let us know, since you're the only one who does this. Better Call Saul. I have not gotten my repeat a review from you.
Repeat review.
Yeah, because that's all you review ever. It's like,
Well,
this
they haven't-
year I didn't watch a lot of stuff, but Better Call Saul was pretty good. And
Okay,
that's
so
what
it hasn't come on again
What?
since last year. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the new season comes out, I think, in August.
son of a bitch.
So it's kind of annoying because I think two of my favorite shows on TV right now are Better Call Saul and Rick and Morty, and God knows when those are coming back. So,
And Fear the Walking Dead. Don't forget how much you love that show.
oh my God, it just started, and apparently they're doing a crossover with The Walking Dead.
Yeah, Morgan.
Which I don't understand because The Walking Dead is set on the East Coast, and Fear the Walking Dead's the West Coast. How are you going to go 2,500 miles in
Morgan
between?
is going to find an airplane.
It's cool. I found a jet on the ground over there, fully fueled, full of zombies. It's fine. I just stabbed a few of them, and they were fine.
I don't remember. Had you already given up on the original?
Yeah.
And if
I
not,
gave up. Yeah, I gave up on Walking Dead after the Glenn dumpster scene.
okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
because a lot of people jumped off board at the end of the last season that just finished.
Yeah, I jumped off then. I even said at the time when it happened, I said, if this happens, if Glenn's alive, I'm done. I'm not
Wow, he
watching. I
hated
told my
Glenn
wife at that
much.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Dave's always hated
Yeah.
Asians.
Actually, I loved his character. That's what made me mad.
Known quantity, Dave.
Did you even watch? You watched the premiere though, right? Where
I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did watch the premiere.
I
Just
actually thought it was decent.
it
A
was
lot of people
torture
thought it was
porn.
sensationalist and all that, which it kind of was, but
I'm pretty sure we talked about it in the show, and it was one of those things that I compared it to clickbait. How they just basically like, we're gonna kill somebody, come back and watch.
yeah, that's yeah.
Which seems to be about all they have left at this point
Yeah.
because they're running out of ideas.
But it's
But
not
then
like it's not. The thing is, it's not. I don't know who's in charge. They have some compelling stuff. I don't even know. I haven't watched it for a couple seasons now, but it's like their storytelling can be very good, but then they insist on like death fake outs, weird bait and switches, and I just don't understand it. Like, you have
Yeah.
a good show, you built up a fan base off of good storytelling. Why are you doing the cheap shit?
Because it keeps people talking about it, keeps it in the news. I don't know. My wife watched it, and so I kind of would watch in and out a little bit this past season. And I think they did a decent job of kind of going back to storytelling. But I'd given up on it, so I'm not jumping back in.
Yeah, it's hard to care now.
Yeah. And then Fear the Walking Dead, I gave up after 4 episodes because I was like, this is stupid. Like, this is the dumbest thing.
Well,
So they had an episode called 28 hours later, 28 days later, 2 weeks later, something like that. And the whole point of watching Fear of the Walking Dead is see, oh, I want to see how society collapses. And then they do an episode called 2 Weeks Later, and that 2 weeks was when society collapsed. I'm like, but that's what I wanted to watch, and you skipped it.
My guess is it was 2 weeks later because
28 days later is a movie.
referenced two different movies.
Yes, I understand that.
Even so, I get the whole point, though. Again, that was the whole thing. Like, this is why this is different from The Walking Dead. Watch everything fall to shit. And then they're like, okay, well, here we are, knee-deep in the shit. And you're like, yeah, that's what we've had for 8 seasons on The Walking Dead. I'm good.
I don't want to watch this one. Yeah.
What I will say is, to most people, Fear of the Walking Dead is actually a better show now.
And
it's not just because Walking Dead has gone off a cliff.
No.
It's like they've just they're doing what I think people hoped Walking Dead was going to do, like keep it sort of elevated, even though it's zombies. Whereas Walking Dead is just like, whatever. Let's appeal to the trash who watch the originals on the CW.
Yes. And then my other favorite is Rick and Morty, and it's hilarious. I don't know if you guys have watched it, but it's hilarious. They get me. I've watched them multiple times, and they still make me laugh.
There's that part of me that like thinks that Dave doesn't understand like any of the references at all. He just thinks it's just like funny.
Yeah, wubba lubba dub dub. That's funny, right?
It's Pickle Rick.
Like the Jurassic Park episode, you're like, wow, what a unique idea.
Oh my God, there's 2 Ricks on the screen. One's from this universe, one's from that one.
Multiple universes.
So actually watching, speaking of the best show of all time, I was reading a review on an episode of Lost, which is the Lost like best. It was called The Constant. No, you don't watch Lost for sure, Dave. I can't remember if you ever watched it.
I think I watched the first episode.
It's the best episode of the entire show, and it's great. And there's some like time hopping, and they were interviewing like the writers, and they're like, I am impressed that the episode still resonates because Rick and Morty like does more crazy sci-fi shenanigans in their opening minute than like we have in our whole episode. And yet, like, we've managed to stick around. I was like, that's a good.
I'm actually okay.
They're
I want to go back and watch
like
that show.
crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Any other pop culture, Dave? We have to catch you up.
No, not pop culture. I did have kind of a grievance that I've noticed in my work that I might want to bring up.
Well, I guess we'll allow it.
Okay. I think it's something that people can relate to.
Yeah, we'll see. 1%ers maybe.
Office birthday cards. My new job, I'm part of like the office management team, so I have to sign literally everybody's birthday card, even if I've never met them before. And I feel like if I were to get a birthday card signed by people who I've never met before, it wouldn't mean anything to me. I don't know if I'm just being petty about it or just being weird about it, but like I feel weird signing it because I don't know the person. It doesn't mean anything.
That's why you gotta sign it to like make it fun. You gotta be like, I don't know you. Happy birthday. Or something to that effect. You're probably a cool guy. Have a great day.
It just, I don't know. It feels weird because it's like I'm supposed to be professional since I'm supposed to be on management. And it's like, so I can't do things like that, unfortunately.
Why? Why is that so unprofessional?
Because, well, also then I have a stack. Like literally the other day I had to sign a stack of like 20 different people's birthdays for the month. And that would get really hard to write something unique in each one.
Just something random. Once I had a pet fish. It died. Happy birthday. My favorite movie of all time is Space Jam. Have a good one.
All right, maybe I'll try that next month.
I mean, you're not like, hey, go suck a dick. Happy birthday. Like, it's
that might be unprofessional.
Saying like, I once walked my dog and I saw the sun and it made me contemplate life. Happy birthday.
Yeah, I mean, people would probably say, like, oh, well, I mean, that just shows that it's just, talking about yourself and you don't care about them. It's like, yeah, but putting my name on somebody's card I've never met is pretty much the same thing, just not as on the nose.
I think it's meta, and it shows that you're aware of it, and I think that's cool. That's what I would do.
That's fair. But, I mean, do you guys care if you get a birthday card from the office, like, signed by people you barely talk to?
I don't like getting office cards to begin with in the office.
That's fair.
I don't like getting cards to begin with in any situation. I mean, I don't mind the ones from, like, my grandparents. I appreciate them. I'm not saying that, but, like... It's not something I'm like, oh, man, every year I hope a lot of people get me cards.
Here's my criteria on cards. If there's not something meaningful written, I don't want it. And that's family members, that's anybody. So it kind of, my criteria alone sort of eliminates the random office people.
Yeah.
But I go through cards. Like I have them in my. I just went through a bunch of them in my room, and it's like, if there's like a page written, I'm like, yeah, keep it. If it's like happy birthday, I'm like, throw it away.
You know,
What does that do?
the situation that sucks though is when you're in an office of a decent size to maybe even larger, and you get a card that you don't know the person at all, and it just kind of gets put on your desk or something, and now you're in a situation where, okay, not only do I have to figure out what I'm going to put on this, if anything, where do I take it?
Oh yeah, that's always a thing.
Who
too.
am I going to give this to? Is it one of my coworkers who probably also doesn't know them because they don't work in the same department? Do I just take it back to the other boss and like then this whole side of the building's being missed? It's a whole situation.
I will take that and I'll put it on somebody's desk who's not there.
I've
And I'll
done
be
that.
like, now it's your problem.
I've done that.
I don't know.
And in a twist of fate, it was that person's birthday. Oh no!
Oh shit!
That would be terrible.
God.
Dave, I have a serious question about this.
Yes.
As a supervisor, are you a supervisor?
Yes, yes. I'm like a compliance officer / office manager, so I deal with a lot of different things that in the maintenance of the office.
As a supervisor, Dave,
Yes.
do you read? Do you open the card and then read what the other people are writing in the card?
So funny story about that. The cards that I'm signing are only signed by the office management team that I'm on, so they're only the other managers. So they're all basically writing "Happy Birthday" and that's it.
Wow, what a shitty. Well,
So he does.
Again, why even do it?
This
If
is
it's
my
just
whole point of bringing this up.
Yeah, but just a bunch of random people. But I mean, at least in the office, sometimes you're gonna get. My office is sounding like it's a lot smaller, but you're gonna get some people where they know them and they have really nice things written, and then you have like Lincoln where he's like, I don't even remember. I blew a lot of my examples already, but
Today,
that's the
today
kind
I
of thing
ate a
he
horse.
does.
Happy birthday,
Yeah.
Lincoln.
Yes.
Well, then,
So-
Dave, I guess
and-
the question is, after it goes to the management team, does it get dispersed to like that department head that then goes around the
No.
department that people actually would care about, and they sign it, or is it just from you guys?
So that these cards in particular are just from the office management.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
What even is that?
It's recognizing the person. See, this is my issue with it, and I get why they do it because it's like, hey, the management recognized that you had a day. I guess.
You should be like, I see you. Happy birthday.
Okay, that's not a bad one.
I like that because it could be like I notice you and the work you're doing. It could just be creepy. It's really just how the person wants to read it.
Yeah, I was
I
thinking,
think
like,
I
that's
need
what
to
he's gonna
make
do.
sure. I need to make sure that I only do that on a male's card, not a female's card. Because I see you on a female's card, it could
Yeah.
go poorly.
Well, especially as the compliance officer, you're gonna get a like directive from above about yourself. Like, is Dave Robinson in compliance? You're gonna be like, no,
Dave's like, I'm gonna take Sean's advice. Restraining order.
immediately fired.
Well,
Fired. Damn it, Shaun. I liked this job.
So the reason I'm asking Dave is I once got in trouble for something that I wrote in a card
Oh, really?
because I probably shouldn't go into too many details, but I'm
No,
going
but
to.
please do.
So,
But here we go.
somebody was leaving, and I said, he really wanted to stay, and he was leaving because it didn't work out. And I'm like, sorry, it didn't work out, but you're gonna just do great on your next job, and I wish you all the best. Does that
Sounds
strike you
pretty nice.
just off the bat as something that's horrible?
So the only thing that could make it horrible was the circumstances of him leaving. So if like he had punched his manager and threw a trash pile on his face, and then sorry man, it didn't work out.
No,
Then, yeah, I guess there's a problem with that.
he was going back to school,
Amicable split.
and he left.
Okay, no,
2
if
weeks
there's an amicable
notice, all of
split-
that.
Yeah, if it was a mutual termination, that type of thing, I don't know.
And I wasn't a supervisor. I'm just a coworker and a friend.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, that's even less of a concern.
I got called into the office and was like, explain. I don't have a book, but like explain this. And I was like, well, these are the circumstances. And then she was like, no, they weren't. And I was like, well, but this is kind of the things that led up. No, it didn't. I was like, okay.
So-
but look.
So the good thing about my supervision and compliance that I work in is I'm not HR. I don't have to deal with interperson grievances and stuff like that. I'm in supervision of finances. I'm working at a financial advisory company. So I only have to supervise their business. I don't have to supervise their interpersonal relations. So that's
that's
fortunate.
great, but neither was this person.
Oh,
She wasn't
well,
HR.
then-
She's just one of my supervisors.
so then she just might be a bit of a bitch.
She sucks. And I can
Okay.
say that now because she's long gone. Good riddance.
She's dead.
yeah,
Adios.
no, I would feel a little bad.
So
actually,
Dave
if
has
she
sprung
died.
upon us a miniature saving society, and as such, we now need to decide office birthday cards, can they continue to be a thing or not?
I mean, I think it's okay for them to be a thing. Do you sign a card if you don't know the person?
No.
I can agree. So this is the whole kids on Valentine's Day problem, where it's like you have to give a Valentine to everybody because then everybody has to feel special. But if everybody feels special, nobody feels special. So I see both sides of it is my problem. So I'm fine keeping it because there might be that one person that likes it that makes their day. So we're fine keeping it.
Well, my issue with it is, like, I understand the Valentine's Day conundrum, but if you're the type of person who has such a small footprint in the office that no one will want to sign your card anyways, that should just be kind of telling on its own, and that's sort of the grave you've dug for yourself.
Dave, I'm telling you, it'll be better when you're like, Dear Kathy, when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. Happy birthday, Dave.
I am so getting called in for HR. Like, did
Why?
you understand the sexual advance you just made on this? You told her you love her. That's amore.
No, you didn't. You just say that's a song from my favorite movie, Pizza Moon.
Please tell me what movie that's from.
Pizza Moon, the old 50s classic. Yeah. That's all I got.
All
Versus doing something.
No, that's fine. So it's not going to stay then. They're done.
No,
because I think they can stay, and Dave thinks they can stay.
Okay.
Yep, they're staying.
All right.
So they're staying, but
They
Chris
suck.
is not going to sign them. So
No.
they're there, but they're going to
That's
go
fine.
unsigned.
I leave it open for optional to sign.
All right. Well, never fear, Dave fans. He's going to be on the other episode this week. You haven't gotten rid of him yet, non-Dave fans. There's people on both sides of the fence, and they're going to have to reconcile how many of these episodes they want to listen to and how much fan mail they want to write in, both in support of and against Dave. I think that's a big dividing factor here.
I do want to hear from both sides because I've always wondered what it'd be like if I held up like the roast me sign.
Ugh,
And I wonder what people would say.
You have a pretty good idea of it because I do it already, but
That's good point.
Yeah.
I mean, look at
Good
your
point.
goddamn shirt that you wore at ASU. It just says fear, and there's
The fork.
more, but all I can see is fear.
Mm-hmm. Fear the walking fork.
It's actually Fear the Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's the end of this episode. We'll be back on Tuesday for another regular show. In between episodes, you can find us on our website, objectionnetwork.com. We're on social media at Team Objection. Some of these things you can see on the bottom of the screen. If you're watching the podcast in its new video form, it's on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/objectionnetwork. And finally, you can send emails to the show about Dave or otherwise to objectionnetwork@gmail.com. See you next time.